It was really bad. We've got to improve that. You know, in the playoffs and you're playing tough teams, you cannot have the mistakes that we had, the penalties that we had, especially in the first half. I thought it was really, really bad on the penalty end, but more importantly, the things that we can control, and that is turnover of the ball, and we did not do a very good job of that today, of controlling the ball and hanging on to the football. I think it's a little bit, maybe it's the first game jitters. I don't know, but we need to definitely do a better job of that next week.
Is that something, Coach, that you can simulate in practice, is holding on to the football, or is that impossible really to simulate in practice simply because of the fact that, you know, you can have your defensive players try to strip the ball from your offensive players, but bottom line, that's practice, and, you know, the real game comes up next Saturday.
Yeah, it is. You know, it's we only thing we do really in practice, we concentrate on, especially lately, is really working on hanging on to the football, and our backs have really done a much better job. Early in the year, we had a couple fumbles here and there. They both had a couple fumbles, and they've been working really hard in practice on hanging on to the football, and we put a little pressure on them. But I guess we're going to have to start putting some pressure on our quarterback, because in practice he doesn't run the ball too much, here and there. And he's got to run it in the game once in a while. And when he fumbles the ball, that's bad. So he's definitely going to get a little pressure put on him this week in practice of hanging on to that football.
The first 18 plays you ran in the second half were all on the ground before that 38-yard pass to Zeb Tedford for the touchdown. Was that the intention, really, to limit the passing attempts in the second half because of, some of the miscues that happened in the opening half?
Well, we wanted to loosen them up because they're a blitzing type defense. They've got at least 8 in the box at all times, and so you've got to be able to take advantage of that and throw the ball once in a while. So we tried to do that a little bit, and we made some. I blame myself for that at the end of just before the halftime, coming out and trying to take the ball down the field and score with a passing attack. It wasn't a good pass on Nick's part, and they were in good position. Probably shouldn't have done that, but hindsight's 20/20, and we tried to loosen them up a little bit with that, and then run some play action. In the second half, we said we're just going to do what got us here, and we're going to take it down the field and control the line of scrimmage and get after them.
Well, I've used the label throughout the course of the season that Brush has been more of a second-half team, only because it seems that, there's been a couple of games there that have been tied at halftime. You've dominated in the second half, and today you're only up 15-7, even though it seemed that today one of those things that was not a factor, Coach, was that you didn't really get off to a slow start. You did have that fumble, but you had one of the better drives, about over 8 minutes that went down the field, and it seemed the team was in rhythm, and it just got out of rhythm with the final couple of minutes there of the opening half before reestablishing yourself in the second half.
Well, we did. It seems like we would have a big play and then all of a sudden have a situation with a penalty and it bring it back, and it was just a killer on our drives a lot of times. But hopefully we stay healthy through this game and keep going, and that's the big thing in the playoffs. The team that stays the healthiest is going to be in great shape. We know all about that, and hopefully we stay decently healthy. And I know that we got a few banged-up shoulders here and there, but hopefully we stay healthy and keep going.
Well, during the pregame, you told us that Rafael Munoz might not even play, yet he was pretty valuable out there, coming up with an interception, still hasn't missed an extra point, and hopefully I never say that at the wrong time, so it's not a jinx, but it seems that this team couldn't get much healthier at this point, Coach. Obviously, in this position 1 year ago, you were in a much worse position.
Oh, yes, we were, and it's good to see us walk away. I think we're decently healthy, and Rafael, he was hurting all week and couldn't do much contact, but he did a great job, and he flies around with the football, and I think that we'll be okay next week, and we'll see what Trinidad has, and we'll get right after him.
I was just going to ask you, finally, your initial thoughts about taking on Trinidad here at Beat Digger Stadium.
Well, I think it's great that they get to come up here to God's country instead of us having to go down there. That's a long haul, and I wouldn't want to make that trip, but this means we'll probably definitely be gone in the semifinals. But before that happens, we have to beat Trinidad and take one game at a time, and we'll see what happens.